Hi, welcome to my kitchen again. More Italian cooking today. There is chicken fat all over the place. We're going to talk about poultry and game Italian style. Now in America, it's very hard to shop for the kind of thing that you find in Italy because everything we have generally in poultry and game world is pre-plucked, pre-packaged, and wrapped in plastic wrap. It's very different than Italy because the mindset in Italy is very different. You can buy whole birds with the feathers still on. Shopping in Italy for poultry is just an absolute joy. You can wander into shops. This is in Turin, in northern Italy, lovely places. And look at these birds. The chickens are all hanging there, ready to go. You don't ask them about refrigeration. If the bird is fresh, Italians prefer to let it age for a bit. And here are birds that have the feathers still on them. They've been cleaned, but they're allowed to age for a time so that the flavor is much brighter. And they're lovely things. Just lovely things. You take the moment, clean yourself. Polleria means a chicken place. And Craig is looking at birds. See, he has whole meat in the background, but he has all kinds of pheasants and birds out in the front with the pelt still on them. They want you to know they're fresh. This is Craig's girlfriend, Ermina, at Trattoria Mercoletto in Parma. These two fell in love with each other. She's almost 80. And she taught Craig to do a chicken dish, which is a very old dish. Right now he's trying to talk her into cooking some truffles for him. See how tiny she is? And they're checking out the stove. Remember now, this is an Italian restaurant, so you cook on both sides of the stove. Our method of setting up stoves, I think, is the more I study the Italians, the more stupid it looks. However, in Seattle, you can go to a wonderful place and have wonderful food. Il Terrazzo, the chef's and owner's name is Carmine. And through the years, he's just become a grand friend. Isn't this a lovely spot? Very different than the Trattoria in Parma. The young man that's preparing things back there is Jason. Look at the beautiful display of antipasti that he puts out. And Carmine is such a stinker, he makes you walk by all these beautiful things when you're trying to get to your table. So by the time you get to your table, you're famished. Here's Carmine. Bless his heart. He's here with us today. You'll meet him. Thanks. But I want you to see what a good restaurant owner does to his clients. He seats you in this lovely place, and then he begins to talk with you about what he wants you to eat. Now, for me, that's what a good Italian chef is for. He wants to talk with you about what you should eat. Greg and I love the place. He wants such and such. No, maybe you should have the thus and so. See? Isn't that wonderful, rather than going and having some junior high school girl come over to you and say, "Hi, my name is Arlene. I'll be your waitress tonight. What's the special?" "I don't know," she says. Carmine knows. Two interesting pasta dishes. Mine is a panzanella. It has cheese and olives. I think it's closer to a puttanesca, to tell you the truth. It's very delicious. Wonderful, wonderful sauce on it. The sauce is not cooked. Carmine doesn't like to cook tomatoes for a long time. And Craig is having chicken with 2 or 3 different kinds of pasta. How is it, Craig? Yeah, I thought so. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. You remember on Cheers, they used to sing the song, "I want to go to a place where everybody knows my name." Well, that's what a good restaurant should do for you. I think that's part of hospitality. Carmine, what do you think? We know what we think. We know. Here's our judgment. Just terrific. Now, here's another fellow that treats you awfully well. His name is Carlo Medioni, and he runs a place called Vivande Portavia. You know what that means? It means takeout food. I told him we were coming by with a television camera, and he put up a book display in his front window. The guy's a scream. Now, he's making pressed chicken very much like Armina does. He puts a weight on the top of another frying pan, you see. She does it the old-fashioned way, just on a grill, and she whacks it over and over again with a grill paddle. Craig will tell you about that. But Carlo Medioni, Vivande Portavia, on Fillmore in San Francisco, runs a fine, fine eating house. And it's one of those places, I think we're going to see more of these. There are restaurants in which you eat in the kitchen. And right behind you is a full takeout deli. Stop talking, Smith. I want to see the deli there. Thank you. Here's a full takeout line of food. No, you're right. It doesn't look cheap, does it? Well, he's a fine chef. He and his wife, the Italian wife, they're wonderful, wonderful cooks. And the whole place is just glorious. But you see what a line of stuff he has to take out? Isn't that terrific? And the chicken is all ready to go. And cheeses. Oh, I just think it's a wonderful place. I really enjoy it. There. Carlo Medioni, Carmine Il Torazzo. Find an Italian chef that you can really get close to, and they don't hold secrets back from me. Both of these guys are gossips. Honest to God, you ask them a question, and they give you an honest answer. All right, I've got to cook in a hurry today because I have lots of things for you to see. A very quickie, a real quickie. These are quail, little bitty quail. Cut them down the back, and that's called butterflying. Open them up, marinate them in olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and fresh rosemary. You remember rosemary. Let's refresh here. Rosemary, don't buy it dried. You can buy it dried, of course, but rosemary comes in I want you to grow this in your yard. Mine grows year-round. Put these on a grill, or a griddle. No, a grill. There we are. And grill them for just a few minutes on each side. Look at this. This is a very popular kind of poultry preparation in Italy. And everyone gets one. There we go. There's supposed to be 6 in the package, and obviously I left one out there to show you, so there are only 5 on the plate, but I'll wiggle it around and make it a little bit bigger. There we are. All right, first dish. Quail grilled with rosemary, olive oil, a little salt and pepper. Let it marinate for about an hour, and then grill them on a hot grill. They're really better on a barbecue. Put this on a charcoal barbecue. Knock them dead. Craig, would you get some game hens out of the oven for me? I'll get a plate for you. Okay. This is your dish, and I think you should quail about it. Quelling is a Yiddish word for a small bird who puffs his feathers up when he's very excited. Quelling. So
these are definitely spelling.
You can quell because those are beautiful.
Should I cut one in half?
Please do it.
All right, let me borrow your knife.
And then tell us what you've got in there.
You'll see the filling. This has been stuffed game hens. These are about 1 3/4 pounds each. These have been tied with string, and just for the sake of time, I'm just going to leave the string on. You take your string off. And this has been filled with fresh fennel bulb that's been julienned, some Italian sausage that you cook until it's crumbly, breadcrumbs, a couple of eggs, some chicken stock, fresh mushrooms and onions and garlic, of course, and then stuff your birds and cook those for about an hour and 15 minutes or so. So they remain nice and juicy.
Oh, the aroma, Craig. This is
it's
terrible.
the fresh fennel. It's an aromatic vegetable.
We had this in Bologna, didn't we?
Well, we've made some additions.
Well, you did. You put fresh fennel in it.
Oh, it's
fresh fennel bulb. Here, let me show you. A fresh fennel bulb, odd-looking thing.
Yes. But
you julienne this like you would carrots or celery or anything else, and mix that in with your dressing, and it's sort of an anise or a licorice flavor.
It has a mild licorice flavor that really cleans up foods. And in ancient times, they used to use that to cleanse innards and things like that. So I'll throw that one out for you.
Now, you could deglaze this pan. I hate to see all this wonderful sauce in it. You could deglaze it with a little wine. The pan would be perfect, you see. Deglaze with a little wine and pour that over the top, and you've got a nice sauce. Makes its own gravy like Gravy Train. All right. Now, you've got something else in there. Let's unload the next one.
Okay. Same theory on deglazing here. And these are chicken breasts. Normally, we don't cook just chicken breasts because I prefer juicier cuts of chicken. And these have been rubbed with a room temperature butter, freshly chopped sage, and a little lemon juice. And you stir that into a paste and rub it as much as you can underneath the skin of each piece.
How do you get it underneath the skin?
Just pull it back carefully, trying to keep it as attached as much as you can. If it completely falls off, you can tie it back on, no problem. And then rub the remaining, some additional butter and sage and lemon juice on top, and roast those off at about 350 degrees for 35 minutes. And then you have chicken breasts baked with sage, lemon, butter.
That is colossal. Please do not overcook them. That's very, very important. Dried chicken breasts are about as exciting to me as well, never mind. Thanks, friend.
Sure.
When we were in Venice and we had dinner one night with Fulvia Sassani, she had us stop at a wonderful restaurant called Harry's Dolce on the Grand Canal in Venice. And she ordered a chicken salad. I said, chicken salad? I'm in Italy. I wanted something wild, you see. Well, I don't know what I had, but I was so fascinated by what she had. Watch this. You make a dressing of a half a cup of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise in Italy? Yes, you see it now and then. You see it now and then. To that we add a couple of tablespoons of lemon juice. And I've already used my lemon reamer and used fresh lemon. I don't want you to ever use that stuff that comes in a plastic tube. 2 tablespoons. 1, 2. That's plenty. Thank you, lemon. Come again. You know, in Italy and Greece, when you buy a lemon, you don't buy one like we do, maybe 2. You buy them in bags because you use them constantly. You buy them in big bags like we buy potatoes. That's what it is in Italy. And I need about 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Now, you can use a good one or a medium quality. This is a blend that I've whipped up from balsamic vinegar. 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. Now, remember, this is that very rich vinegar that's sometimes years old, and it's quite expensive, but very delicious, and you don't need much. And a shot of Worcestershire, I need about a teaspoon. Bloop, 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 bloop. Yes, that's how I measure bloops. And a couple tablespoons of good extra virgin olive oil. There we are, and we have a salad dressing. I need some salt and pepper. And did you get all that? Mayonnaise may surprise you from Italy, but it's very, very delicious. Oops, not a bit in it. I have to grind it fresh. That's the best way. All right. And a little bit of salt. Let me whip that up and I'll... Now, when you cook the chicken, let me give you a clue. For heaven's sakes, don't overcook chicken breast. We've already given you that sermon today. But what I've done was to simply poach a couple of chicken breasts, actually 4, because I'm serving salad for 4. So the dressing is ready, and the chicken breasts have already been poached. And I've saved bones to show you what I've done here. You see, barely poach the chicken, remove the skin, and then shred the meat thusly. And it still has some of the broth in it. So it's nice and moist, nice and wet. I don't like dried chicken salads. Oh, Lord, I've had enough of those. I went to BFA grade school when I was a kid. And every once in a while, they try to unload a chicken salad on us. There you are. Now, this is enough for 4. So I'm just going to use half the chicken that's in the bowl. You understand what I'm saying? Put it over iceberg lettuce. In Italy, on the Grand Canal, at Harry's Dolce, part of the Cipriani family. Yes, this is what they do. And I'll tell you, it's just delicious. Where are we going from here? I think there's something else that... oh, Craig's going to come on. Craig, I'm going to put this salad dressing on, and would you get your chicken twice cooked going?
Okay.
According to Ermina.
Okay.
Or, well, I don't think that's far from Carlo's recipe either. There we are. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that a lovely thing? And it's very rich and makes a lovely salad for you. Okay, what are you doing, friend?
Well, first of all, in this pan here, I've sautéed in a little bit of butter and rosemary some chicken thighs, about 6 pieces, and just sauté that so you have a nice even coloring on it. And then you want to throw these in an oven about 350 degrees and bake them for about 10 minutes. We don't want them to be fully cooked because we're going to cook them again. And let me remove this and I'll show you what's going on. Now, in this pan, after the chicken has been baked, the thighs have been sautéed in a nonstick frying pan, and I have a heavy cast iron frying pan here, which I put on top. And the idea is to smash this chicken. You want to flatten these.
Carlo used a brick, didn't he?
Well, this works great.
But a whole heavy old frying pan works great,
Sure.
too. Yeah, that's better.
You want to be careful not to scratch your nonstick surface if you're using this sort of method. Just be careful. Press those down like that. And we can serve those up, and we're going to create a little sauce here at the same time by deglazing this pan with some rosemary. Or, I'm sorry, there's already rosemary there. Some white wine.
Those are beautiful.
And we'll end up with a rosemary butter sauce
now,
with wine.
You told me the night you snuck into Ermina's kitchen, he's the only man that's ever been allowed in her kitchen. That's the truth.
A great kitchen,
in Parma.
too.
Oh, it's wonderful. But you said she used the old method on a griddle, and she just kept smacking it with a griddle. What do you call it?
Exactly. She would char these so they're almost black, and she would smash it down with a spatula right on a flat top and just keep playing with it over and over again. Now we're going to add a little bit of white wine.
Just to the pan drippings.
Sure. Get that nice and hot.
Uh-huh.
This will make a little bit of a glaze that will go right over to the top of the chicken.
Oh, boy.
You can see it emulsify and thicken up. See, it got cloudy? Can you see the difference? See that?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
it's
yes.
done.
Okay.
It's done. And that's a chicken twice cooked.
Isn't that great? Now, I know you're nervous about whether or not he's overcooked the chicken, but he hasn't. You pan fry it lightly to start with, and then the second time, bake it a short time. It sounds crazy, but the crunchy, well, that's, for me, it's the crunchiness.
The skin is crunchy, and the other thing is, since we're using thighs, it's going to retain juice.
Oh, all right, put it out, and then I have a guest.
Okay.
Carmine is coming here to teach us how to make chicken farmer style. Chef, I'm so glad to have you here.
How are you, Jim?
Welcome.
Good
fun.
to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Wonderful.
Remember, this is Carmine from Il Terrazzo's in Seattle, down by Pioneer Square. You have a wonderful meal. Let me get everything ready for you. Here's the chicken that we've pre-cooked. You want to explain this?
All right.
Pan-fried these in the thighs.
We pan fry the thighs with a little bit of oil and a little bit of garlic, a little bit of rosemary. And then on the separate pan, we do have.
I've got some all in the pan ready for you.
All right.
Let me
We do have.
change this here. As a matter of fact, this one doesn't have rosemary. There you go. All right, and now you're set.
Now, in a separate pan, we have a little mushrooms, a little bit of tomato concasse, which is a fresh tomato chopped and diced. And we have also onions. And in a separate pan, we have a julienne of fresh peppers, green and red, and a little carrots diced. Reason to do them differently in a different pan is because the cooking time is a little bit of different.
Now, tell me what the difference is here between this and you call it contadina?
Contadina is a farmer style.
Peasant food.
Peasant food. That's correct. I mean, it is all ingredients that you do get from a farm.
Over against what's the other one? Cacciatore.
Cacciatore, it is actually this is a new version of a chicken cacciatore. It's much lighter, more healthier, and is not cooked all day long like a cacciatore would be with tomato paste and
Everything falls
and a lot
apart.
of ingredients.
Yes, everything falls apart. All right, throw it together, chef.
All right.
We pan-fried floured and pan-fried the chicken thighs, or you can use breasts and deskin them. Take the skin off.
Correct.
And the bone.
You can use a chicken with or without the skin. Of course, the skin is gives it a little more flavor.
I think so,
But
too.
as we all know, it's
it's fat.
also a little heavier. That's
Cholesterol.
correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
Then what?
Once you've done that and you have simmered your different vegetables, you
Very short time too. We didn't cook those
very
long.
short time
just
because
very
because
sauté.
it is going to go in the oven, and of course it will finish baking in the oven.
Okay. Well, you
So-
put that first one in. Let me tell them what it is. You go ahead.
I have a little spatula.
Sure. I can afford a spatula, chef. There you are.
Wonderful.
Okay.
All right, so
In
we
this
have
first
here.
pan, you have 6 large mushrooms, 12 black olives, and they have the pit in them,
They do.
and a teaspoon of capers and 6 ripe plum tomatoes. He does not use canned tomatoes for this dish. We've simmered that for a short time, and we're going to put that over the chicken.
There we go.
All right.
That's pan number
Just
one.
throw it in the sink.
Well, very nicely and delicately.
I've got good help after we.
And in this other pan, we have the onions, carrots, green and red peppers.
Right.
Also sauteed lightly in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And we put that over top.
Lord, the colors, Carmine. So beautiful.
I think we probably have enough right here. Okay.
Now we can add a little bit of fresh rosemary on the top if you
can.
like. You want to do that, or you trust me?
Absolutely. No,
You trust
go right
me?
ahead.
All right, sprinkle some fresh rosemary on top.
Absolutely. That's wonderful.
And the white wine bottle is
now,
right there.
we do need a little bit of moisture because
Yes.
it is going to go in the
gonna go in the
oven.
oven,
So,
right,
absolutely.
okay.
So we do sprinkle a little bit. This is white wine here.
I hope so. It should say right on the side of the bottle.
right.
Keep turning.
Keep turning. White wine.
Ta-da!
We have the white wine.
I love using
a
this
little
crazy
bit
bottle.
of sprinkle
Okay.
so that we give it a little moisture while it sits in the oven at about 400 degrees. And for best results, I think we should cover this so that the moisture stays in.
Aluminum foil, perhaps.
Aluminum foil.
Okay.
And it will cook for about 20 minutes with the aluminum foil on, and then remove the foil, and 15 more minutes. And the reason for that is to give a little bit of roasting colors.
I have one already.
Right?
Let me haul it out here for you. When all of these vegetables collapse on top of the chicken, and the chicken is not overcooked, it's not boiled all day long like a cacciatore. Oh, Carmen, this is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. Let me put it right out here for you.
Marvelous.
Oh, God, that's heavy. That, you know, it's very much like your restaurant. That is to say, you've never given me a small portion of anything when I've been down there.
Well,
so much food. I love it.
It is a wonderful dish. As you can see, it's easy to prepare, and it's something that you can assemble ahead of time and just enjoy later.
I hadn't thought of that. How is it cold?
It's just as good, but of course, when it's warm, it'll deliver a little more aroma and flavor.
Oh, come on, fork, cooperate with me, will you? All right, I'm going to try this right in front of you.
Please do.
There we are. I love the thigh because it isn't dry.
It's marvelously cooked, I must say. Very nicely.
The gelatin, the vegetables, we've got a marriage here that is made in heaven, where all marriages should be.
That's very, very correct.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Pleasure to have
We'll
you.
go out to lunch later. I'll see you in a bit.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh, that's murder. That's so good. Wow. All right. Today we've talked about chicken and poultry, small game. In Italy, there would be a wider selection of birds. For instance, there would be some partridges and some, why don't you see quail? I mean, not quail, squab. Here's my theory. I don't know if I'm right. I should have asked Carmine. Squab are pigeons. And in Italy, there are pigeons everywhere. They sit on your head. They sit on your shoulders. They sit on your grandchildren. They make a mess all over the piazzas. They're everywhere. And I think that's one of the reasons why you don't normally order a pigeon. Rather, you order a little quail. I've never seen a squab on a menu in Italy. Have you, Carmine? Is that the reason?
It's pretty hard because of what you've just said. There's kind of a connotation that...
Not even the cats will eat the pigeons because the cats understand that the pigeons are special. They were brought into Venice, for instance, by Napoleon. When he conquered Venice, he wanted pigeons around, so they brought in pigeons. Now pigeons are everywhere. We don't eat pigeons necessarily, but we can certainly enjoy a wonderful quail grilled with rosemary, or a game hen stuffed with Craig's sausage and fennel dressing, or a chicken salad from Harry's Dolce, or a twice-cooked chicken pressed, the kind of thing that Ermina makes in Parma, wonderful place, and a sage chicken breast covered with sage butter and roasted. And Carmine brought us something that he calls chicken farmer style, chicken contadina, because everything should be available in the farm. Now, if you could grow your own olives on your farm, and your own chickens, and your own peppers, then I know you're in Italy. Otherwise, go to the local supermarket and make this one. I still think it would be great cold in your kid's lunchbox. Joey, what do you have? Carmine's chicken contadina, because Baba watches the Frugal Gourmet. Till I see you again, I bid you peace. Bye-bye.